life in the concrete jungle can be very hard, and there is much help needed for those who end up destitute and indigent in the cities. The parishioners, along with other volunteers at the Holy Trinity Catholic Church, are working hard to minister Christ to the poor through service.
I think the role of the church is to be at the service of the local community, and especially those who are finding themselves the most abandoned. So we try to reach out to those who live on the streets here of Johannesburg, but we try to reach out to people in many different areas of life where they feel maybe that they've been excluded or maybe that they don't belong. And so there's a strong tradition here of trying to get the people who come to this parish not only to come here to worship, but their service of God is expressed in their service of those who live on the streets of the city, those who find themselves excluded or abandoned. And if one looks at Jesus in the Gospels, he is always trying to reach out to those who in one way or another have been excluded from their society. In Matthew's Gospel, for example, he has that wonderful bit about those that were naked or imprisoned, that we need to clothe or to visit, those who find themselves poor, that need some sort of help, those who, for one reason or another, find themselves in any way kind of pushed out of the mainstream of society. And I think that our Christian belief is lived in our service of these types of people. One can't just have a relationship with God. A relationship with God means also having a relationship with others. And the cross is a very nice symbol of that. That we have a beam that talks about our relationship with God, but hopefully that relationship also stretches out to others. That our Christian belief is lived in the very way that we choose to act in the society in which we live.
While taking action to counter these and other societal needs, the church is also incorporating spirituality to feed the soul.
The homeless themselves or the people in the street wanted a Bible study on their own. We asked them, after giving them things like clothes and soup every Monday, we kind of took a survey with them and to say, what else can we do for you? So themselves, they said, we want something like a Bible study, to study the Bible and pray together. So that's how we came up with the Bible study, which originated from themselves. So it's more like it's their thing. We have realized that they really need this thing. They need something that they can sit together and talk about God, because it's not easy to talk about God in the street, because people are rough and stuff and everything, you know, the street life as we know it, it's not easy. But this is more a community where they stay together and they read the Bible together, and we have just a simple approach to it. You don't even ask people what to do, so they just have to read the passage. Then they talk about what the passage says to me, myself, and I. So that the words that we want people to use. We don't want them to preach to one another. We want them to preach to themselves. What is the Bible or the passage saying to me at that particular moment? Then I share it with my friends. So that's the kind of thing. And they come a good number of them. We have about 70 every Monday.
There is a weekly soup kitchen, or a daily soup kitchen that's run by the church in the morning. Our one is predominantly in the evening. We also help with clothes, food parcels for destitute families, blankets during winter when it gets really cold on the streets. And at the moment we're helping to provide training, basic training for some of the gentlemen to help them improve their skills and hopefully get a job, and that will help them support themselves better. Living on the street has its own set of problems. There's not enough medical care, so we are very lucky that a basic medical clinic was being run by VIT students for a while. So lack of medical clinic, not enough food. A lot of the gentlemen are potentially HIV positive. They need food for having antiretrovirals. There's not enough food, they can't take their medication, or the medication's not effective. Basically, all the problems you can think of that you'd live on the street. No job, you can't get a job without an ID book, you can't get an ID book without money, you can't get money without a job. So it becomes a vicious circle, and we try and help to the best of our abilities in a lot of these things.
The clinic runs with students from Wits Medical School. So they're medical students. They see to the guys and give them basic healthcare and referrals to local clinics and hospitals and stuff. Any form of basic healthcare we can give them, really assist them. In the beginning, you start out because it's something cool, maybe to do with your friends or something new to try. Gives you a warm, fuzzy feeling. Eventually, you well, I find with me, I ended up with a sense of responsibility for it, and now more involved in the planning and organizing. And I think the guys really do depend on us for food, supplies, healthcare, whatever we can offer.
We should never, ever fall into the trap of believing that nobody cares. Because although we live in a very harsh environment, although we live in a world which at times doesn't seem to care, it seems to me that there are many people that do care and want to make a difference in the world today. And places like this, and hopefully other churches in the city, are certainly signs of that hope, that nobody should be excluded, nobody should be abandoned, that because of the God that loves us first, our response as God's people should be to be of service to others and to be there to help them wherever they find themselves.